Okay, I hope everybody had a nice break. Everyone's feeling refreshed, and for those who needed it, moisturized as well. So it's now my pleasure to introduce to you one of the co-founders of Children of Vinh Orphanage. Her name is Marie Tran. Marie was born in a village that I cannot pronounce, Vietnam. Her family fled Vietnam in April of 1975 during the conflict. She came to America. And in the summer of 2010, Marie returned to Vietnam to volunteer to teach English to the children at Vinh Orphanage No. 1 in Con Tum province. The children made such a huge impact in her life that upon her return to the U.S., Marie, along with her sister Vaughn, co-founded Children of Vinh. Marie is passionate about volunteering, teaching, and traveling. She recently returned from Vietnam and looks forward to giving you an update on the beautiful children at Vinh orphanages. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marie Tran.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. You know, this is such an incredible event, and I'm always so glad to be back to Boise, Idaho. You know, I was wondering how Vaughn can get so many people to do all these wonderful things for her, actually for the children, but through Vaughn. And I thought, you know, I don't think she gave most of you the option of helping or not. She never gave us the option. So thank you all for being here. It's my pleasure to be here and to share with you the story of the children. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. And imagine over 700 children giving you a hug right now. Lots of hugs going around. And I wish they could be here physically today, but they're here with us in spirit. And so with that, I'm going to share with you about the orphanage and how this all came about. Today, we recognize several sponsors for the events, and of course, thank you to Kevin Kirk, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the band, Kevin Kirk and his wonderful group, the Riverside Hotel, the Not Yet Foundation, who has given us a matching grant of up to $5,000 of what we make here today, and for Vinh Orphanage. So, we are here to support the children of Vinh Orphanage, and some of the things we do are reflected here on the screen, providing health care, food, and education for the children. And I know some of you are over there that if you can't see that, would you like to participate with us, feel free to walk over. So with that, we couldn't do the screens 360 degrees, so please go ahead. So where is Con Tum? Con Tum is in the central highland areas of Vietnam where that red arrow is. It kind of borders Cambodia and Laos. It is located in one of the poorest provinces of Vietnam. And there I found 6 facilities with over 700 ethnic minority children. And the reason I mention ethnic, and you may not know this, is there are 54 ethnic groups in Vietnam speaking 54 different languages. And the King language, which Ron and I speak, is just one of the 54. And we make up 97%. So the other 3% are made up of the other 53 ethnic groups. So these children are from ethnic groups. They're supported by the Sisters of Miraculous Meadows, and the sisters provide food, shelter, clothing, education, medical care for the children, regardless of their religious beliefs. Orphanages in Vietnam are either operated by the government, sometimes you'll see Buddhist monks, and Christian groups. So orphans is defined by UNICEF and global partners as a child who has lost one or both parents. And so a child that is in any one of these 6 orphanages have either lost a father, a mother, or both. So our mission is to ensure that every child has essential food, clothing, shelter, education, and an opportunity to be educated. Isn't that what we wanted for our kids here? Okay? It's global. It's what every child wants and what every parent wants. So our incredible board members are made up of teachers, engineers, human resource managers, nurses, and of course, Vaughn is our co-founder and executive director. And we have two of our board members here today. Please raise your hands. I'm Cotton and Vaughn from Seattle, Washington. One thing that we all have in common is none of our board members have won the lottery yet. So we all have to get back to Seattle tonight to work tomorrow morning. But we have an incredible group, and we're very passionate about what we do. Next. So I want to quickly share with you some of the faces at each of these orphanages. VSO 1 has about 200 children. I know not all of them are featured here, but at least you get a view of the children. Next. VSO 2 has another 200 children at the orphanage. VSO 3, 75 children. 12 of them are high school students, and most are between 15 and 16 years old. VSO 4, another large one, 157 children. Many of them are under 5 years old. VSO 5 has 100 children. And last but not least, VSO 6, which is the farthest from all of the other VSO, has 85 children. So some of you are wondering, why are there so many orphans in Vietnam, and particularly in this area? Most of the children here have experienced the death of a father and a mother. A lot of times it has to do with health care. People that live in the village, many of the ladies do not go to the hospital to deliver babies, and so sometimes they have infections from childbirth, and we see a lot of that. We see a lot of cases of abandoned parents not able to take care of the kids, so they abandon the children. So the sisters find them in whatever state they're in and take care of them. There are some cases where the parents are mentally not able to take care of the children, and so they have social problems where the sister has to intervene and take the child away and take care of the kids. So that gives you a little background. You may ask why we aren't adopting these children. Well, it's a long story, but there is not an agreement between U.S. and Vietnam for adoption. It started and then it stopped about 6 or 7 years ago. And you can Google search on it, but it goes into details of trafficking of children to administration issues. But right now, if you want to adopt a child from Vietnam, you cannot do it from the U.S. If you have citizens in other countries, you'll be able to do that, depending on which country you live in. So, just to share with you something very exciting for us. In 2011, my sister Vaughn and I started the nonprofit, and we did about $5,926 worth of goods, school supplies, and we thought, great, that's a good start, but we can do more. In 2012, we did noodles, milk, but we were only supplying to specific VSOs, mainly the ones with more children. VSO 1 and VSO 2 has the most children. And then we did special requests for certain things. We just did not have enough money in our account to take care of many of the needs of the kids and the sisters. In 2013, did you see the jump from about less than 7,000? We doubled. Thanks to the support of our donors. We could not do this without many caring and loving people like you. In 2013, we went up to almost $17,500 worth of goods. We did New Year projects where we had 409 kits of blankets, pillows, mosquito nets, towels. We deliver food and milk. And when we deliver food, it's direct. We buy it from the local, we have them deliver, and we have someone on site to oversee it. And all of this is done by volunteer work. We do not have any paid staff. When we travel on our own money. When we do events, many of us just put out our own fees with the support. Many of our volunteers, wonderful people like you who says, I can make 150 copies of our brochure and don't worry about the fees. And so we try to do everything we can to minimize cost. And recently I applied for a grant through Not Yet Foundation. And the lady says, I've looked at over 300 grants, and you got to be kidding me. Your admin fee is a post office box, and your tax person, and a couple of wiring fees? I mean, she's never seen anything like it. And I think that's hard to find, that we are truly trying to get as much of our dollars to the children directly as possible. So look at 2014. This is this year, folks. $25,335. We've already delivered over $7,000 worth of food in April when I was there. We made special meals for the children because I believe that each child should have a birthday party, don't you think?
Yay!
So, we went to every VSO, had cook a meal, special meal for them, and had these cupcakes for each of the children, and we sang happy birthday like you've never heard us sing before, in both English and Vietnamese. Anytime we're over there and we find special needs, anything that we could do, ice cream socials, movie nights, we spend a little bit of money there. Next. In October, this month, we're going to deliver another $7,200 worth of food directly to each of the VSO. We have committed to $4,700 for tuitions for school because we felt that education, and being a teacher myself, education's the key out of poverty for many of these children. They need to go to school, they need to be able to find marketable skills, and it gets them out of that cycle. So we want to provide them with the basic needs, but we want to give them an opportunity to be able to help themselves in the future. Also, we are so excited because in April of 2015, we have committed to co-sponsoring a dental mission where all 700 children will get dental care. To do this individually would have to take each child 40 minutes drive outside of their village in order to get dental care. So that's another reason we're doing these fundraising events. Next. So you can look at the charts for those of you that likes charts. You can see where we've been since 2011. You can tell I'm a business management instructor. I can't sing, but I can talk. Thank you. And you got to keep me on time, right, sis? All right. So look at what we've done, and we can't claim that this is due to us. It's due to all the donors and people that we've talked to, and all the people that Vaughn talks to, that she gives no option but to write a check or to be here. I know my sister. I grew up with her. So here's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to be focused on our benefit, and today we're trying to raise $4,700, if not more, and that's the number. Those are the number of children and what we're trying to do in terms of education. And I'm sorry the slide looks a little bit off from probably various programs. Okay, our second goal, anything that we raise over what we've committed to education goes to our dental program. That will happen in April 2015, in which Tan and Vaughn will be in Vietnam at that time to oversee this operation. Every year we have someone, either myself or our board members, visit the orphanage to make sure everything is where it needs to be, to talk to the sisters and make sure that our funds are being used in the most effective manners to help the children. So here's just to give you an idea of what it takes to deliver the food to the children. Look at the roads back there. And you got to imagine I'm on the back of the motorcycle with the helmet going through the bumpy road just to get the food to some of these orphanages. That we buy a lot of rice, a lot of noodle, main staples, vegetable oil, sugar. Those are the things that they need the most. Next. Education, big one. Whenever I go to Vietnam, I help the children and we teach them English. These children speak their ethnic minority language first. When they get to the public school, they will learn Vietnamese, the main language, and then about 3rd or 5th grade, they start picking up English language. But many of these children are starting to learn language, English right now. And I tell you, it's hard to correct their pronunciation. Going from pumpkin to pumpkin it's hard. You can take all day because that's how they've learned to pronounce the words. But they're the cutest things, and you will love them. These are special meals that I talked about, where we go in and we cook meals for the children, and for about $2, US dollars, each of the child can have the cake, and that's curry chicken more protein in meat than they normally would have. So just to keep that in mind, that sometimes we think, well, you know, we only have $10. It goes a long way, and it really helps. Every dollar makes a difference. Ice cream social. For $20, I can have ice creams cones for about 85 children. 85 children. I call the ice cream man in. He goes in, he's got big smiles, and he's giving the children extra scoops, and they just have a great time. So do you think you can kind of give up desserts or something? You know, there's something that we could give up that would make a difference in the lives of these children. When I see this, my Catholic guilt starts to set in really bad. I'm like, I've got to go home and sell all this stuff. Or, you know, you start feeling really guilty, like, you know, you blow $20 for having a glass of wine or drinking. Not to say that's bad, but, you know, we do that without thinking here in the U.S. And look at what you can get in Vietnam. So Lunar New Year projects, we found out that the kids needed new blankets, new pillows, and so we had all of these kits delivered and bought locally. So things are more reasonable. We don't try to ship clothes or things like that because the cost would make it so infeasible. It would be cheaper to get the money and buy local, and it helps the local businesses. So Juan Lee, my friend from Vietnam who does this for free, he doesn't live in the Kon Tum area, but every time we have a delivery or something, he flies to Kon Tum and makes sure that we get the goods there and that it's in the right amount and we're charged the right price. We have our website. You have brochures on the table. Please take time to look at it. Get on our website. And so what I'm sharing here is you can make a difference. There's several ways to do this, and I find it really to share the stories. We're always connected because we share stories. Okay? As long as we keep sharing our stories, we are connected in one way or another. Host a dinner event with friends to rally support, and I'm sure Vaughn would volunteer to come and speak. Financial, if you're in Seattle, I would be more than happy to come. Donations can be made online. You can do donations online on a monthly basis. Designated VSO for special events. Folks, we don't need more stuff for our birthdays and Christmas and New Year. By the way, did I tell you my birthday's October 30th? So, if you can't find any events to celebrate, you can donate on my behalf. I'm not going to tell you that, but you get the message. All donations, 25, are tax deductible. We will mail you out receipts along with photos of the children. Go ahead. And here's what you can do. For $50, you can pay tuitions, uniforms, books for one child per year. You can feed, $150. We'll buy rice for 220 children for 6 months. So, we can do a lot with what we have here. And we can share. If you get tax refunds, maybe share a little bit of that. Next. $1 can make a difference. And everything that's big starts out small. We started out doing very little, just family, friends, donation, but now we've got a group. And see, if you spend more than an hour with Vaughn and me, we are now family, and it's easy to ask your family to support. I tell you, you're just our family now. And then, next year we expect you to come back, and you bring your friends and family, and, we bring the band back, and so it's going to be a great all-together. And we want to thank you, all of our sponsors. Next. We want to thank you, all the local business donors, for the silent auctions, the individual donors. We have recognition plaque out there that signs that listed all the donors. We could not do this without you. Okay. Our Boise Junior Volunteer Team. Let's give them a round of applause. It always excites me to have teenagers helping others. And it's a great way to do it, and we've just been so blessed to have the Boise volunteer teams. And then, of course, we could not do this without you. Our supporters and you are now our ambassadors. So you will go out and share this with all your friends and family. And then, last but not least, a thank you and hugs from all the children, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts, from all our board members, to you, to be here today and to do all that you can to help the children. Please think about making a donations to our organization in order for us to help the children. You know, if you have any questions, because of time, we'll be available after the event, and we've got a wonderful evening. There's no rush. What's the rush, right? It's Sunday evening, so sit back and enjoy the rest of the program. I'm going to turn this over.
Thanks, Mary. Yeah, play a short set here. Sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah. Anyway, he's going to play a short set, and we'll end the session with more auction items. Outside up in the area, front door area. So enjoy the rest of your meal. Enjoy your cocktails. Don't forget about the auction. There you go. Thanks.